So the one woman who is deserving of honor, because these are qualities that we want to encourage, actually is Tulsi Gabbard. Now, Tulsi Gabbard is not someone who historically I have agreed with on much. However, the way that she is investigating and holding accountable our government right now for funding these biolabs in Ukraine is very admirable. And she is receiving, as a result of her advocacy, as a result of her speaking out and saying, why is the US government funding, why is the Pentagon specifically giving money to Ukrainian biolabs? The heat that she's taken for this and the way that she has responded is worth encouraging, because this is what young women should do. So Tulsi originally tweeted out a video asking why, asking the questions that we should be asking. Why are we doing this? And why are we being lied to? And in response, Mitt Romney, of all people, Mitt Romney responded and called her a treasonous liar. Yes, for asking these questions, he called her a treasonous liar, insinuated that she was in Vladimir Putin's pocket. And this is what she responded. I want to read her tweet thread here. She goes, Mitt Romney, you've called me a treasonous liar for stating the fact that there, quote, are 25 plus US-funded biolabs in Ukraine, which, if breached, would release and spread deadly pathogens to the US and the world, unquote, and therefore must be secured in order to prevent new pandemics. Bizarrely, you claim that securing these labs, or even calling for securing these labs, is treasonous and will lead to a loss of life, which is the exact opposite. When the exact opposite is obviously true. The spread of pathogens is what will cause the loss of life, not the prevention of such spread. Senator Romney, she writes, please provide evidence that what I said is untrue and treasonous. If you cannot, then you should do the honorable thing, apologize and resign from the Senate. Wow. Wow. Dropping the hammer right now on Mitt Romney. It is odd that Mitt Romney would call her treasonous and a liar. This is not, as both Twitter and Snopes and Mitt Romney, I guess now, this is quite a trifecta. This is not just Russian propaganda. So I want to show this picture on the screen. This is what Twitter created a story about this, and they used Snopes as their source, which just blows my mind. Snopes is so absurd. This is what Twitter said. No foreign biological laboratories operate in Ukraine, US Embassy and Snopes say. It says Security Service of Ukraine, the US Embassy in Kyiv, and multiple fact checkers say there are no foreign biological laboratories operating in Ukraine, and the false claims have been made for several years. So a couple of things. I showed last week a web page that still exists, by the way. They haven't pulled it down, from the US Embassy in Ukraine. It was a press release from 2020 in which they acknowledge that the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, does fund biolabs in Ukraine. Now, they claim, of course, that it's for biodefense, which is their euphemistic way of getting around the moratorium or the international prohibition on bioweapons research. But we all know what it means. We've seen what happened. I mean, we saw Dr. Fauci in the Wuhan lab and how they got around the technical definition of gain-of-function research. This is obviously what's happening in Ukraine. So a couple things. Snopes is ridiculous. Fact checkers are usually funded by Facebook and the Chinese Communist Party. And Twitter is just, absurd. I don't believe a word that they say.